Hello, welcome to our workshop. We were asked by Creality to make a second video about their new CR Laser Falcon 2 from the perspective of a leather crafter. This is what we found out after testing the laser. The device arrived fully assembled. I only had to screw in the feet. Slide the laser head module into place. Attach the air assist and plug it in. It takes only about 10 minutes to get started. The package includes the tools needed to assemble it. A metal tool used to focus the laser for cutting different thicknesses of materials. A micro SD card containing useful information. Safety goggles. And various testing materials. We received also a rotary roller, which is sold separately, for engraving round objects such as drinking glasses, tumblers, mugs or jars. The Falcon 2 has a full aluminum alloy frame that is more rigid than the open-frame CR Falcon 1 laser engraver. As a result, the laser module can operate at 25,000 mm per minute, 15,000 mm per minute quicker than the Falcon 1, resulting in increased productivity. The working area is the same as the previous version of CR Falcon, 400 by 415 mm. A very useful feature is the air assist pump that blows air onto the working area, controlled by G-code. The airflow can be adjusted using a knob on the machine side. It is already integrated, making it easier to use compared to the previous edition of CR Falcon. The pump is stronger, helping to produce very clean cuts. The Falcon 2 does not have a touch screen, but it can be connected to your PC or Mac to operate it from there. It also supports offline engraving or cutting. Similar to its predecessor, the Falcon 2 is equipped with a protective shield that prevents direct exposure to the laser beam. The laser includes advanced safety features such as the 3 LED lights that monitor flame, airflow, and cleanliness of the lens. When a flame is detected, the machine stops immediately. The laser contains an emergency stop button and a key switch to prevent unauthorized use. The laser can be used with Lightburn and Laser GRBL software, both available on the included microSD card. Please refer to our previous video about how to install Lightburn. After the laser is installed, you can start make the adjustments for using it. To focus the laser, we use the small metal piece that came in the package. It has 3 levels, each indicating the recommended distance between the laser and the working surface, for engraving and for cutting different thickness of materials. To adjust the focus, loosen the 2 screws on the side, lift the laser and place it on top of the material, and tighten the screws. To preview the job and align the material within the designated area, press the frame button to draw a preview frame. You don't need to position the material with your hands anymore. Instead, you should use the newly added button to move the position of the laser head. Each time you press it, the laser head will move about 1 mm in the direction you selected. I will show how to make a speed and power test in Lightburn, so you can make your own testings. We draw a square with the side of 7 mm, big enough to test cutting and engraving. Then we make an array with 10 by 10 squares. We set 3 mm of spacing between squares. We use the text tool to add the labels on the speed and power axis. Now we assign different speeds for each row. 2.5 thousandths is layer 1, 5 thousandths is layer 2, and so on up to the maximum speed of the laser, which is 25 thousandths millimeters per minute. We'll set the speed for the different layers and keep the power at 100% for all of them. We set the layer properties, making sure all of them are in fill mode if you want to test engraving power, or in line mode for cutting power. We assign different power for each column, from 10% to 100%. For this, we need to open the Shape Properties tab from the Window tab, like so. Select the layers you want to set the power for, and then, on the right side of the screen, click on Shape Properties and set the desired power. Save your file as G-code and go to your laser and make your test. We chose a 9 Oz leather, as it will allow us to test a wide range of engraving depths. After conducting trials with the CR Falcon 1, on cutting and engraving various leather types, we arrived at the conclusion that vegetable tan leather is the most appropriate option for laser usage. For engraving, we adjusted the distance from the laser to the leather to 13 mm thickness, like so. The two variables we work with are speed and power. The speed ranged from 2.5 thousand millimeters per minute to the maximum of 25 thousandths, and the power from 10% to 100%. You will be able to observe that the higher the speed and the lower the power, the engraving is almost imperceptible. In reverse, the lower the speed and the higher the power, the engraving is almost burnt. There is no best setting for engraving. It depends on the desired depth of engraving and the thickness of the leather you use. I wash the soot with a damp sponge cloth. Let's test some speed and power settings. We used a 6 Oz 2.4mm vegetable tan leather. The settings we used here were 7,500 mm per minute and 40% power for engraving. For cutting we used a speed of 400 mm per minute and 100% power. We start the cutting experiments with a 2 Oz vegetable tan leather. We used the metal device to focus the laser for 1 3mm cutting. The speed ranged from 2,500 to the maximum of 25,000 mm per minute, and the power from 10% to 100%. As you can see, here it didn't cut through. The issue is related to the high speed we used. This is the best combination of speed and power we achieved in this test for this leather thickness. You should tinker with them until you obtain the desired result. This is a 6 Oz 2.5mm vegetable tan leather. The speed we used this time ranged from 250 to 2,500 mm per minute, and the power from 10% to 100%. These settings burn the leather. In this area the cuts start to be more what we wanted. This is the best combination of speed and power we achieved in this test for this leather thickness. In this test we decreased the speed 10 times compared to the previous one, as the leather is 3 times thicker. We managed to obtain some speed and power combinations that works great with this leather thickness. You should tinker with them until you obtain the desired result. This is a 7.5 Oz 3mm vegetable tan leather. The speed we used this time ranged from 100 to 1,000 mm per minute, and the power from 10% to 100%. This is the best combination of speed and power we achieved in this test for this leather thickness. This is a 10 Aus 4mm vegetable tan leather. These are the combinations of speed and power that cut the leather. The MDF is 7.5 Aus 3mm thick. We use boxes.py to design the box. The acrylic is 7.5 Aus 3mm thick. It cut perfectly with 200 mm per minute and 100% power, and engraved with 1000 mm per minute and 100% power. The stamps leave a neat and clean imprint on vegetable tan leather. The speed we used ranged from 300 to 2.1 thousand mm per minute, and the power from 55 to 100%. The laser produced some variation of colors, depending on the speed and power we used. We used 720 mm per minute and 100% power. We first installed the razor stands. Next, we adjust the rotary roller to match the diameter of the glass. We have in the description a link to the video presenting how to install and use the Creality rotary roller. In order to be able to engrave glass with a diode laser, you need to apply some dark color on the transparent glass. In the first test we used black marker. We set the laser on 720 mm per minute and 100% power. We cleaned it with isopropyl alcohol. In the second test we use black acrylic spray. Its coverage is perfect and it dries in 10 minutes. We cleaned it with isopropyl alcohol. The flashing light is a reminder that the lens needs to be cleaned. I use the anti-dust cloth and a cotton bud to clean the lens, like so. After the cleaning is completed, the lens will still keep the red light flashing the next time you turn it on. You need to press the reset button again to confirm that the lens has been cleaned, and then the lens will be green. With its cutting capacity, construction quality, speed, built-in air assist pump and safety features, CR Falcon 2 is a solid choice for any leather crafter. This machine increases your productivity, reduces your time for creating and testing new designs, and is great for personalizing your products and packaging. With its generous working area and cutting power, you can entirely rely on the laser to cut, punch and engrave a variety of leather products such as earrings, bracelets, keychains, cuffs, watch straps, wallets, purses, bags, cases and so on. The laser cuts up to 10 Oz 4mm vegetable tan leather in one pass. The machine reduces the time for designing new stuff, as enables you to test the new patterns by cutting them with the laser, ultimately reducing the overall time it takes to develop new products. You can use the laser to trace the pattern directly on the leather sheet, eliminating the time for printing on paper and trace it on the leather. The machine is a great choice for personalizing your products. You can engrave any image, letter or decoration your customers would require. You can make your own acrylic stamps or packages from cardboard, plywood, MDF or wood, tailored to the size of your product. This can effectively reduce your marketing expenses. You can also make tailored boxes to organize your tools. The CR Falcon 2 is conveniently pre-assembled, requiring only 10 minutes to set up. Furthermore, its user-friendly features, including easy focus adjustment and safety measures, make it accessible to anyone, regardless their experience in laser cutting. The laser is lightweight, and therefore, can be moved around with ease, or stored until you need it, making it a good option for workshops with limited space. Although the CR Falcon 2 does not have a touch screen, it can be connected to your PC or Mac and supports offline engraving or cutting. You would need a ventilated space for operating the laser and an exhaust system to remove the smell and fumes. The CR Falcon 2 is a premium product, therefore, the price is in the range of other similar lasers. If you are interested in purchasing this laser, there is a link in the description. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.